everybody, it's Safi and Marco. Dish out on the movies, and we're doing a short review tonight of our little experiment. We have been eating our spaghetti that we make, homemade. We don't buy the sauce. We make everything, and I think I went through the steps last night because I was using that as a review. So, if you heard the review, that's very intricate. There are lots of steps. Well, tonight, we decided to try Chef Ramsay's frozen food meals. And he's come out with, 7 or 8?
8 meals.
And I won't tell what the rest are because we will be getting all of them.
Yeah.
But we're going to get like 2 at a time. Because, he has all these shows and he's made all these crappy comments. He's thrown people's food on the wall.
About frozen food. This food tastes frozen. You use frozen this. You use frozen that. Ew. Frozen. Ew. And
Marco,
what does he do?
He makes frozen dinners. Now, I've seen Guy Fieri or whatever his name is, who does the grocery games and some other shows. He's from California. He has a bunch of frozen foods too, and there's probably, I know there's other famous chefs who have. I think Wolfgang Puck has had like soups, and so anyway, this isn't unusual, but I mean for him, that's another story for Chef Ramsay, because he is always like put down, and Marco just said it, put down people who make things, or he might say, oh, you're this tastes like a frozen dinner, or so, he just, I haven't seen as many cooking shows, I think, as Marco in terms of Chef Ramsay, because I stopped watching Hell's Kitchen years ago. Because so many people
Safi, anyway, that's not an excuse.
That doesn't have anything to do with these frozen food dinners. But let's get to it. And so we picked 2, and Marco picked fish and chips, which that's British, and I picked shepherd's pie, which is also British. And truth be told, I have made shepherd's pie a few times, and actually Marco has helped me make shepherd's pie.
Yeah, we had an Andy Griffith cookbook. I don't know where Safi hid it somewhere. Probably threw it away.
It's probably gone.
We'll probably have to get another one.
It wasn't that good, though.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know.
We hardly cooked anything in it because you wouldn't let us.
Oh,
we cooked the shepherd's pie, and we cooked this coconut pie. And the coconut pie was really gross, so we stopped cooking food in the cookbook. Or I would want to cook another recipe, and she'd be like, no, Marco, this recipe isn't any good. You just make it in the normal way.
Well, but I have also cooked shepherd's pie from another recipe. But anyway, any recipe I think would be better than this recipe.
Well, we're not doing that one yet. Why are you jumping to that one?
No, we're not on that one yet. But I just went to. I've never really made.
You're just gonna jump it in anyway.
I've never really made fish and chips. I have been to England where they serve fish and chips, but I didn't eat the fish. I just couldn't. Ugh. And then the chips, those are French fries, and they were just like regular fries that you get at any fast food place. So it wasn't, the only difference with us is we ate them with our hands, which is what you do here, but they eat them with a knife and fork. So anyway, so let's talk about the fish and chips. Did you see what kind of fish this is, Marco?
Well, I'm just going to talk about, because you've just been doing all this weird jumping around everywhere, the concept of Gordon Ramsay doing frozen meals is basically the same thing as if I made a feminazi agenda movie. like Girl Power the movie, starring I don't know, one of those ugly feminazi actresses, the token Snow White girl. Girl Power starring her. This is essentially the same thing as if I did that. And and I would never do that ever, because that would be selling out. And I feel like this is Gordon Ramsay selling out, because he is saying on the box, I am giving you the Gordon Ramsay experience. And he's got this stupid look on his face. It's like, looks like he just got a good report at the doctor's office or something. Like, it just looks really queer. And it just looks like the epitome of sellout. It looks like the epitome of double standards, because these dishes are so bad. If another chef made this, he would throw it around. He'd make all these comments about it. He'd be like, "You're not fit to be a chef." Like, he'd say all these things. But since he made this, though, it's okay.
Well,
frozen food.
What we thought would be fun would be if on one of these shows he does, like, let's say Hell's Kitchen, for example, if somebody pumped them and they're supposed to make a dish and they cooked one of these frozen meals.
Yeah, they should.
And served it to them, maybe on a different plate or something, but they would cook it like it's supposed to be, with the package directions say, and serve it to him and see what he said.
He'd be like, "Ew, what is this, baby's vomit? Ew."
Probably throw it on the floor, throw it in the garbage.
They'd be like, "No,
with the plate.
No, Chef Gordon, that's your frozen dinner." Oh!
And then they would produce the box, the empty box.
And they'd show that face that he makes on the box, and he'd be like,
"I would love to see that."
Oh no!
I wish somebody would do it. Hint, hint. Anybody out there?
Anybody.
Anybody.
So, fish and chips, I chose to get fish and chips first because I thought, it's Gordon Ramsay. He's British, right? Like, he should be able to make fish and chips. Like, that should be a walk in the park. But then again, it's a frozen meal, so, not really high standards. But this is Gordon Ramsay standard. And the fish is pollock. Safi? You asked me that question.
And also the way it's cooked on the package, and I read it because I wanted to see, because nowadays if you get a frozen meal, it either can be, well, I can't say this for every single one of them, but a lot of the times, I'll just say it could, because we get them every so often. We get like Chinese food or something like that, or chicken, but mainly Chinese food. And they'll say, oh, you can either microwave it or put it in the oven. I know we also get like a pot pie. They're real cheap, and it's just something quick, and you don't have to worry about anything. So this thing said, air fryer preferable. We do not have an air fryer. And then the other alternative is to bake it in the oven at 425?
Yeah.
And so we did it where we baked it in the oven.
Already, I would like to mention that the fish stuck to the pan. It stuck to the foil on the pan because they said to line a pan or a cookie sheet, and so I
said to put spray Pam or something on the.
Well, they didn't tell me to do that, so I'm not going to do it.
I know.
And
because you think there's enough oil in it or whatever, that you wouldn't need that. That's why they didn't say it.
No, the fish stuck to the aluminum foil. I had to use the spatula to pry them off of the foil. It was really, really bad.
And he paid very close attention to how everything was supposed to be prepared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he wasn't careless and did something else while he was doing this. He read the directions carefully and did everything it said. And it said you could, if you didn't have an air fryer, you could bake it in the oven. And it gave the temperature. So we have, in the appliances we have here, we live in this apartment complex, they're the best you can get. I mean, they're new. They're not old. We lived in that old house and we had some old appliances.
But the oven that we had though was new.
Yeah, we had a new oven there
at that time. So, but this fish and chips, let's just say it was bad. It was bad. It was not good at all. There wasn't one single thing about it where I could say, oh, I'd like to eat that again. Like, I would never eat this again. To think that this is Gordon Ramsay standard is like kind of hilarious because
he said they could be. And since I've watched just mainly Masterchef, either the adult version or the kids, they have very high standards. I mean, the way but not with everybody. They have double standards sometimes too. But I know what they would do. They had this, all three of them.
Yeah.
Aaron, Joe, and Gordon.
Yeah, like if Joe got these meals,
Oh,
like
God.
he
would
would
probably throw it up on the ceiling.
Yeah, he'd throw a temper
we can imagine it.
tantrum.
It's not hard to imagine. It's not something. I mean, I know this is the night from hell, but I'll tell you, I don't have any trouble imagining it. Not one bit.
Well,
even if it wasn't a night from hell.
I will say too, like, I can't remember what hotel it's called, but the hotel that we went to in Chicago when we went to the Days of the Dead convention in 2016, they had these new chefs, and I think they fired them since then, and because they suck, they really went downhill, that hotel, especially with the food. And they had these new chefs, and they opened up this new restaurant, and they had this great food. It was like some of the best food that we've ever had. And their main dish was fish and chips. And these chefs were like Mexican or something. Like they weren't British at all. And they were making like extraordinary fish and chips that, like, I don't think that I could ever find fish and chips that was as good as that again. It was so good that, like, instead of getting food out, like, we just went there another night and got the fish and chips again. Like, that's how good it was. And to think that, like, this is Gordon Ramsay's fish and chips, like, this is the British dish. This is the main British dish. Like, if you think about top British dishes, it's fish and chips, and then what else, Safi?
Well, I'm trying to think that pie,
pie.
Oh, it's
meat
beef,
pie.
Meat pie.
Yeah, meat pies, but like, yeah. And
I can't think of what it's called, but we didn't eat really when we were there. We didn't eat hardly any because they said the people who lived there said their food isn't that good. So forget it.
Well,
so they have every other when you're in London, for example, they have every kind of food from every country known to mankind in really nice, inexpensive restaurants. And we were on a very strict budget because we were about to do research in a third world country, and we had to use our money for that. And so we could get a lot of different food. We got Greek food, Chinese food, and all the different things that we had was really good. So, I mean, for really reasonable prices. So
but this is not good.
We didn't even have any British food. Just that fish and chips, but I didn't eat the fish.
This fish and chips was really bad. Like, it was so bad that I was like, oh.
I don't think that you should, if you're selling frozen food to the general public,
yeah,
I don't think you should make it to where you have to cook it in an air fryer.
Well, I don't think that you should have this weird, like, inconsistent direction, because with the shepherd's pie, all they did was mention the microwave. Like, they didn't even mention any other way, like the oven or anything. And it's like, why is it that you have these inconsistent cooking directions with, like, the recommendations? Like, that's really weird. It just shows, like, Gordon Ramsay has no business going in the frozen food industry. Again, it's like a porno actress becoming a priest or something, a priestess.
Well,
like, it's just bizarre.
These are sold through Walmart, because I don't know about Hell's Kitchen, but I know Masterchef. Walmart has been their sponsor, and they'll say, "Oh, we have all these." They've done this thing where they've had some kind of challenge going on, and they say we got all these fine fruits and vegetables from Walmart, where you can get these things there. They have such a good grocery selection. Or all these meats. They'll have a thing where they have to cook these different meats.
And that's even worse because, like, out of all the stores, Gordon Ramsay chose to partner up with Walmart. Ew. Like, talk about... There's some of the...
I hate Walmart.
One of the worst corporations that exists nowadays. And, like...
I used to like Walmart.
Walmart's the worst.
Deals, but I won't even... I hate going there.
Terrible
They
company.
Changed it.
Terrible people work there. It's just a terrible place.
I don't know about that.
It's basically like if you wanted to make a horror movie, you'd set it in Walmart because
it would be a great place for a horror movie.
Ooh, well, it would be satisfying too to see all the awful staff people. Like
it was just so full. It was way too much merchandise.
It's terrible. And anyways, the fish and chips. Let's talk about the fish. Like, what did you think of the fish?
Well,
the pollock.
It reminded me of pillows. Eating,
Yeah.
you know those mint
Pillows.
I don't know. I call them pillow mints, and they're yellow. They're yellow and pink and green and white, and they look like little pillows.
Are they like dirty pillows?
Actually, they're
Remember
really good.
from Carrie? Remember when her mom called her boobs dirty pillows?
Oh, God.
That was pretty funny.
Well, anyway, the food, the way it's cut or something, and the way it looks, they look like chunky pillows.
Yeah.
And they even have a consistency of pillows. And the fries, the chips, so to speak, they're not French fries. They are home fries. Or the real...
We're just talking about the fish now.
Well, I know that, but I mean, it's all
Why are you
pillows.
talking about the fries then?
Because they all look like, all of it looks
But
like
we're talking
pillows.
about the fish.
Okay, well, the fish looks like little pillows.
But what did it taste like?
Not like much.
You can't even handle doing a food review.
Marco, shush up. They don't taste like much. There's just not much flavor.
I felt like the fish was seasoned a lot with like salt, but nothing else. Like the fish was terrible. It even had it was really weird. Some of the batter wasn't even fully cooked. Like it was like kind of like wet and rawish. Like it was soggy, and we cooked it the full amount of time. And I guess we should have just cooked it longer. Apparently.
I don't know. It probably would have stuck so hard to the foil you wouldn't have even been able to scrape any of it off.
Yeah, so I hated it. I thought it was awful. Big waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy.
They cost $5 and, I don't know, 65 or 85
Is it going to take us 50 minutes to do a fucking food review?
Okay, Mara, I won't say anything else.
Well, just go ahead with the food.
Okay, well, I'm telling
you,
you,
20
I didn't
minutes.
think they had much flavor. I think they reminded me of eating pillows. They were like little pillows. They didn't have much taste.
What about the fries?
The fries were fair, but they weren't. They were home fries, and those were thick.
Yeah, the fries were like if you made fries at home. If you just cut up a potato and made actual fries, which I've done before.
Yep.
They taste better than this. You know why? Because there's salt on them bitches. There's no salt on these fries. Gordon Ramsay doesn't put salt on his fries. He just gives you fries with nothing on them. And there was no sauce that could save this awful meal. Ketchup couldn't save it. Barbecue sauce couldn't save it. Even if we had tartar sauce wouldn't have done anything for this meal.
We wouldn't have done anything for the fries. That's for sure.
Anything. And so that is the sign of a horrible fish and chips, that even sauce can't save it.
Yeah, so
I would give it a D-. Because the fries, they did taste kind of like they were homemade, but they were awful. They were not seasoned. I would never eat those again.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat this meal again either. I like the fries better than the fish. and they did have a little bit. They were a little bit. I kind of like crispy fries, and they were just a little bit like that, but not really very much. Like I said, they were like the consistency of pillows. So the next meal.
What did you give it as a grade?
Oh, I gave it a D. I gave it a D because the fries were barely passable, but not that much.
And so I'm disappointed because that's the one that I chose. And I feel like if he can't get that one right, he has no business even being on cooking shows anymore.
And guess what there is to choose from? At least I'll just tell you one coming up. 3 cheese risotto.
No, it's mushroom risotto.
No, it said that on the internet.
Oh, well.
It said something about 3 or 4 cheese risotto.
No, I think it's macaroni you're talking about.
Not. No, we'll look it up. Anyway, there's a risotto dish. How about that? Anyway.
It's mushroom risotto.
Marco picked the fish and chips, but I picked the shepherd's pie.
Yeah.
And one thing, I guess maybe that was a mistake, because I've made shepherd's pie before, like I said, and Marco and I have made it together.
But it's a British dish. How the hell does a British man screw up a British dish?
And we're part British. It may be a small part, but that is part of our ethnic background. So I thought it would be good, and it's an easy dish to make. Really simple. And there's spices in it. There's it's ground beef, and it has peas and carrots. And this one is supposed to have peas and carrots too. Kind of a sauce, and then on the top of it, it's kind of like a sloppy Joe mix in a way, and I think there's probably onion in it too. And then on the top of it, you make mashed potatoes, and you spread it out on the top, and then when you put it in the oven,
you put cheese on it too.
That's right. There's cheese
by the
in
way.
the mashed potatoes.
There's no cheese in this meal.
And you like a cheddar cheese, and then you put it in the oven, and it kind of like it has a kind of a slightly kind of a crisp crust, but then when you bite into it, the whole thing, it's nice and soft like mashed potatoes. And then you have that gravy laden beef sauce with the carrots and I'm talking about little bitty carrots and peas, and it's really good. It's really delicious. And this is like, it's like they got a gravy ladle. I mean, and it's not the small kind that comes with the silver set. It's a larger, like...
It's like something that you give to Oliver Twist. And he'd say, "Please, sir, can I have some more?"
And you just it's just like one ladle full of sauce. And then what they do with it before it's cooked, because remember, Marco just said that the only reference they said is to put it in the microwave. That's it, right?
Yeah. For 4.5 minutes.
They squirt it out like with a pastry bag, the mashed potatoes and dots. I'm not talking about the little dots that you usually see on these cooking shows where they're the pencil sized. These are the size of like cookies, like little chocolate chip cookies, or just little cookies shapes. And like a $50, if you know what a $50 looks like. And they make a ring around the top. And then I guess when you cook it, it unfreezes, and it makes the mashed potato kind of crispy, slightly crispy mashed potato topping on the top. It spreads out. So there was hardly, in my portion, what we did, we cut each of these in half, and Marco got half shepherd's pie and half of fish and chips, and I got half of it, each one. Okay, so that's what we did. But anyway, there's like the peas and the carrots. I maybe had two peas and a couple little carrots the size of a fingernail. How about you, Marco?
I could barely tell. It was like eating slop. It was just like a mess of just crap. You couldn't tell where the peas were, the carrots were. They were so bad. The carrots just were. I couldn't tell what they were. Like I was like, what the hell are these little things? Like it was just like slop with sauce, and the beef was like in clumps. Like the beef wasn't properly ground up.
No.
So there were all these clumps of beef. That's not shepherd's pie. That's
I don't know what that is.
That's bitch boy pie or something.
Good. Not good.
And then the peas, I got a pea like on purpose, and I was like, I'm gonna taste a pea, and I couldn't taste anything. It was just a little tiny thing that, like, what the hell is this? This is shepherd's pie from Gordon Ramsay? Like, seriously? Like, even if you took Gordon Ramsay, even if you took his name off these meals, they would still be trash. Like, I don't know who the hell thought this was a good idea.
Somebody wanted to make money.
Yeah. And then Chef Gordon sells out.
Remember, Marco had half of it and I had the other. He hardly had any peas, and either did I, so basically it's just not made properly.
Yeah.
Because you should see the picture on the front.
Oh, it's a very good picture.
I don't know if Marco can do a thumbnail, but it is loaded with peas and carrots. I mean, you can see them on the dish, on the picture, and it looks like they're evenly put around in the whole dish, and then you have the potatoes on the top, and I'm not sure because it's kind of dark in here, but there might be like evidence of like some cheddar cheese or something maybe in the potatoes. So, but it was really, and I think it was a disappointment because, I mean, it is so easy to make.
Yeah, it's very easy. It's one of the easiest dishes to make.
I mean, I don't know if...
He can't handle it, though.
I mean...
Gordon can't handle it. He's become an old... He's an old man. He can't handle making shepherd's pie. He needs to retire because, like, it's going to be really hard watching Hell's Kitchen tomorrow after these fucking meals. Like
these are the British dishes.
Yeah.
That are in the mix.
These are the main British dishes.
I think everything else is, just like any other kind of frozen meal.
Yeah, like lasagna and fucking mac and cheese, and it's like those don't matter. These British dishes, they were the ones that counted, and he couldn't handle them. And the only thing that I'll say about the shepherd's pie, it was better than the fish and chips.
Yes, it was. It had more flavor.
Because it had sauce that was nice. It was well seasoned. And what I liked about the mashed potatoes was that they were very creamy.
Yeah.
They were really good mashed potatoes, but...
And they were soft, too.
That couldn't save this shepherd's pie at all.
It's like there's two important parts. There's the mashed potatoes and the way it's put on the top, and then the bottom with the meat and the sauce and the carrots and the peas and how it's all put together. It's like a two-part dish, and you can't have one without the other. I mean or it wouldn't be shepherd's pie. And the meat part is just a failure. Sorry, but I mean, I've made it. I know. And there's really, to me, it's no excuse because it's an easy dish. It's really, I mean, you could probably do this with your eyes closed. It's really easy to do.
Yeah. I would give this one a C-. I feel like there's barely anything to compliment. It's just not up to par. This is not Gordon Ramsay's standard. It's not anybody's standard. Like, all those chefs in Hell's Kitchen who've been sent home so far, they all need to be brought back because all of them are better than these meals right here. Honestly, like, I'm ashamed for Chef Gordon. Like, I don't know what he was thinking.
I don't either, and it is shameful. And so I don't know if these are like, oh, poor people will buy these, and and it's good enough for them.
I think that's what he's thinking. He's like, oh, people from Walmart will buy this, so...
And I'm not saying that everybody goes to Walmart's poor. I know that that's not true either.
Well, a lot of them are really like, they don't care about quality of anything.
Well, they may not make shepherd's pie or fish and chips. I mean, I don't know. We live in an apartment house, and I just don't know how many people around here really cook, real advanced meals. I have no idea. It does cost money to do that.
There's a lot of other frozen shepherd's pie meals that look better than his. Like,
I don't know.
Kroger has one that looks better, and Marie Callender has one that might not be any good, but...
I don't know. I've never it's so easy to make. It's just like spaghetti. There's no excuse to buy a jar of spaghetti sauce because spaghetti sauce is so simple to make.
Well, jar spaghetti can taste pretty good sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
I do like the jar spaghetti, like I don't know what brand it is, but there are a couple of flavors that I really do like sometimes, but it's not what I prefer.
Yeah, but so I'm saying though, something like shepherd's pie, it's not like, what's that other dish that he makes? He always makes everybody cook it.
Beef Wellington?
Beef Wellington. This isn't beef Wellington.
No.
And I don't know if I could cook beef Wellington because it's complicated.
I was supposed to, and then we just never got around to it.
Yeah, I don't even know if I could do it, but I don't even know if I'd want to try. But this dish is perfect for winter. I mean, if you want to make it, look up a good recipe, and you like all the ingredients, make sure of that, and you make it. It's perfect for winter. It'll make you feel warm inside, and you'd get more of a serving, of course. You made it yourself. You can have leftovers, and it is a perfect dish. But this frozen version of it is not good. So if you have nothing else, we got these because we wanted to do a review of it, and we were curious too.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be Gordon Ramsay standard, and instead it's Oliver Twist standard.
I don't know what it is, but
Charles Dickens would write about these frozen meals. He would be like, and then the little boy went up to his mother, and his mother said, "Here, you little piece of shit. Have this Gordon Ramsay frozen meal, because you suck." And then he'd be like, "Okay, mother, thank you." That would be a new Charles Dickens book. Like, I could write Charles Dickens book called...
Will be 2023, the year from hell.
I don't know. But, because of these frozen meals. Like, wouldn't you agree, like, couldn't you imagine seeing these meals in a Charles Dickens book? Like, they're so trash.
It'd be like
satire. These meals put us in a bad mood. Like, they're just that bad. There's a lot
going on today and tonight, and it's just...
Oh, not really.
And just eating these meals, too, on top of it, is just... We did watch Chucky. We'll be reviewing that tomorrow. And I really loved the episode. I mean, it's probably the best one I've ever seen. I can imagine the next episode's going to be crap, because that's what usually happens. But this episode was good, just to give you a heads up in case you want to watch it. But anyway, so my review of it is, I guess I'd give it a D. I think that's being generous.
So you didn't like it as much as I did, even though I gave it a really bad review.
Well, I just don't think it's excusable.
No, it's not.
Because if I hadn't made it so many times, it's not like my go-to meal all the time. Spaghetti is like one of our go-to meals. And what else? Quiche, chicken and broccoli quiche. It's another one, and we haven't made it in a while because it was so hot this summer. You just didn't want to put the oven on, for one thing, and it was just hard to find things to eat. It was just so hot you didn't want to eat. But then you're hungry, so anyway. No, I would just give it a D because one thing, it's
I can't believe you almost made this a 40-minute video about reviewing these fucking frozen meals.
I know. I'm shocked.
It's not going to be like what we do next week, Safi.
No.
You're not going to make it a 40-minute video.
I can't wait to try the risotto.
Well, that'll be what I pick next. Then.
Oh, okay. Well, if you want to pick the risotto, that's fine.
Because I mushroom risotto sounds like something from hell. It sounds like something that you'd find in the garbage, and Oscar the Grouch would be eating it.
Yeah. Okay, so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. And so you can comment about these dishes. You can go get them. You get them at Walmart, and they cost like $5.85, something like that. And have a go. Goodbye.
Bye.